What's good? It's your boy Fanon. I'm going to talk about Deontay Wilder and Alexander Povetkin. And according to Alexander Povetkin, because I haven't seen it verified by Wilder's team or by the articles that I get where like sports lawyers talk about the subject. So I think that I should be able to get something later on today. But I want to go over this article that Povetkin's promoter claims to have won a $4.3 million court win over Deontay Wilder. And then I'm also going to talk about the fact that this was for the WBC belt and how you have the WBC that just really stood behind Canelo Alvarez when he popped dirty for Kimbuterol. And I mean, just what a shame it is that this, aside from this court case and whether or not Deontay Wilder gets his money for that fight or not, but also Deontay Wilder, I think his team, I don't know if it's Deontay Wilder or if it's his team, is also being sued for what I believe is defamation of character, where he's saying that where Alexander Povetkin, somebody that is known to be a tested positive on multiple levels, would wind up suing multiple times, would wind up suing people associated with Deontay Wilder because of their reaction to a drug test that he failed. And just the shame that it's just a shame that a guy like Alexander Povetkin, from everything that I can see, is allowed to fight in this sport is just, it's out of hand, man. And it's so unfair to people, that boxers that work hard in the gym, who don't have a lot of money or state-sponsored performance enhancing drug system to back them up, which Alexander Povetkin clearly has access to if he doesn't actively use it. So before I get into the details of it, I'm going to try to do a live stream. I was going to do one earlier today, probably going to do one after the weigh-in for Adrian Bronner, Jesse Vargas, Jermell Charlo, Centino, and of course, Gervonta Davis and Jesus Cuellar. That's going to be coming up on Showtime soon. Showtime's boxing channel. I definitely, if you guys haven't watched it, I'll probably release this while it's out. So anyway, hopefully you'll attend to the live stream. And I definitely want to thank the people that donated on the super chats and in Venmo during the live streams. It's, we do these videos and the live streams to raise money for a cause. So we definitely appreciate whenever you guys support, and thank you to the people that supported the last time. You guys really looked out. But anyway, regardless, I would still hope that anybody's welcome to attend. I'll invite everybody to come, and I hope that you accept my invitation. The best way to know about it is to hit the subscribe button and the bell icon, and that way you can be notified of them. Definitely have a lot of very knowledgeable boxing fans that attend the live streams. Now, so with that, let me get to this article. Povetkin's promoter claims $4.3 million court win over Wilder. According to the team behind Russian heavyweight Alexander Povetkin, they have claimed a $4.3 million court victory over WBC Deontay Wilder over a canceled fight back in 2016. According to representatives from Forward Legal, working for Povetkin and his promoter company, Mir Bosic, or World of Boxing, a New York court has awarded the Russian boxers team $4.3 million, which was frozen in an escrow account after the canceled bout in May of 2016. Our Sports reports on Friday, escrow accounts involving third parties handling funds escrow accounts involve, this is an explanation of what an escrow account is. Escrow accounts involve third parties handling funds during the process of a transaction between two parties. The decision of the District Court of New York can certainly be considered a victory, reads a statement from a legal company obtained by our Sport. The company added, however, that the dispute is still continuing. The decision can be appealed within 30 days, but Povetkin's lawyers have already demanded the escrow agent to return the money. Povetkin's team will carefully study the 48-page decision to think about further steps, including legal actions, because the sides still have to fight for multi-million reputational requirements, the statements say. The information was also confirmed by World of Boxing CEO Andrei Rubinsky on Friday. A few hours ago, we won the court case in New York against Wilder's team, Rubinsky said in Russian on his Twitter. I say it once, I will say it again. Anyone that wants to offend or insult my guys will have to pay for it. In May 2016, the WBC heavyweight title fight between Wilder and Povetkin, scheduled to take place in Moscow, was canceled just days before the bout after the Russian boxer's doping test identified trace amounts of meldonium, a drug which had been added to the list of foreign substances on January 1st, 2016. Wilder's team then accused the Russian side of scuppering the fight, left Moscow, and demanded compensation in the tune of $5 million. Rubinsky and Mir Boskic in response asked for $34.5 million in damages to their boxers' honor and integrity. Povetkin's team later provided evidence that the Russian did not consume meldonium after it had been banned. On June 27, 2017, Povetkin was reinstated in the WBO and WBA rankings following their lifting of his ban for doping. This, however, this is my words, was for a WBC title, not the WBA title. So the fact that he was reinstated to the rankings by the WBO and the WBA does not, he wasn't reinstated to the rankings of the WBC after he popped dirty. Now, to give a little bit of background on the other times that that Povetkin had been popped, the boxer was fined $250,000 for testing positive for the selective androgen receptor modulator ostarine, which is also banned substance in December of 2016. His opponent refused to fight him after the test results, and the sanction for his international title was refused. Another event was scheduled in his place. The boxer ended up fighting Johann Duhaupas and knock him out in 6 rounds. Povetkin also tested positive for meldonium before facing Deontay Wilder in the Moscow fight. Povetkin's legal spokesman stated that the WBA statement was known because of the positive ostarine test. He also says that the same thing for other federations over the sport have done so as well. The legal rep also stated that they are in regular contact with the WBC concerning the matter, investigating how the boxer ended up with the substance in his blood. All right, man, the way that he tested positive, he wound up in his blood, is that he took it. Now, this is a guy that's popped dirty twice. Popped dirty twice, and the WBA names him as his mandatory for Anthony Joshua. A guy that is popped dirty 2 times. And I want to separate this thing like the meldonium, right? Now, this is him making the argument. Now, this isn't necessarily about this money, right? And whether or not he needed to pay the $5 million or, I think it's a $4.3 million purse to Deontay Wilder, and whether he should have received the purse for fighting or not. I can't speak to that. And quite honestly, just from this article, we know that circumstance is not done, because I do believe this New York court was an appeal of a decision that was won by Deontay Wilder's team. And now I'm sure Deontay Wilder's team or promoters, whoever it is that he's actually suing, because that's not clear without actually reading the case, that they're going to appeal it. And so it'll be back out on it again. So, and this will continue to go on. So, it is what it is, and whether or not Deontay Wilder gets his money or not. But the fact that you have Alexander Povetkin, who has tested positive 2 times, still being named as the mandatory challenger for a major championship belt, is a shame. And it's right there with the support from the WBA and the WBC that they gave to Canelo Alvarez, who popped dirty. Personally, I think if somebody pops dirty for a fight, then they need to then that's it. The fact that Alexander Povetkin, the argument that Alexander Povetkin makes about, or his team made, that this substance meldonium was just banned. He didn't take it after it was banned. He only took it before it was banned. You know the thing is an illicit. You know that it's a performance-enhancing drug. So the question isn't whether or not he took a performance-enhancing drug and he was training with the performance-enhancing drug in the system. The question for them is whether or not it was a banned substance at the time that he took it. So anytime that you have first of all, this is in Russia. And Russia is a country that was accused by the I can't remember the name of the international, I think it's the International Olympic Committee. But anyway, it's the organization that runs the Olympics, said that they weren't going to allow Russia to fight in the Olympics. I mean, to have any athletes in the Olympics, because their state-sponsored drug program was so extensive that they didn't trust anybody from the country to come in and fight in the Olympics. And you have a guy in Alexander Povetkin who tests positive for a drug that, a heart medicine, I do believe that was for heart medicine. It's the same drug. It's the same drug that Maria Sharapova popped dirty for when it wound up. Now, what is the coincidence that you just have, two marquee Russian athletes who both got heart problems taking meldonium and get popped right before the test, right after it gets banned. I don't believe it. I mean, I believe they took the drug, but I also believe that they knew what the benefits of the drug were, and that they were taken, and they were just one step ahead of the testers. And what happened is the testers, the people that were testing, found out about the drug, put the drug on the ban list, and they didn't have enough time to get it out of their system. So, and that's literally the argument that they made. That, yeah, we know, yeah, it was, that drug stays in your system a long time. So we didn't have enough time. We didn't have enough time to let it get out of, Alexander Povetkin didn't have enough time to let it get out of his system, before they found out about the drug. So it's like, hold on, man, I got caught with my hands dirty, but, I didn't have enough time to wash them. You know what I mean? It's like somebody says to you that, somebody says, we're going to make this new drug we discovered illegal. And, you have it in your house, but your excuse is, I didn't have enough time to get rid of it. I mean, it was legal last week, but now, we knew, of course we knew that it was getting people, high, and of course we know that it operated just like every other drug, every other, class A narcotic, right? But it wasn't classified as that. But we just didn't have, and I know you came in, you raided our house and it was in the basement, but our excuse is that we just didn't have enough time to get rid of it first. And you're going to say, oh yeah, I'm sure a judge would be okay with that. Yeah, look, man, ignorance of the law is not a defense, man. Or you did it, you didn't, and it's not like they got caught with it before it got done. Like, they did the test, and the test was completed before they banned it. It was in their system when they did it, when they took the test after it was banned, but they just say they didn't have enough time to get it out of his system. Because, we just really needed this drug that increases whatever. I think it increased focus. It might increase, increase endurance, right? It's heart medicine. So I'm sure if it has something to do with a heart condition, has something to do with pumping oxygen through your blood and oxygen through your body, because that's what that's what the heart does. But, whatever it did, it helps. It's a performance enhancing drug, and he was on it. He got busted. And this was the second time that he got busted on it. Now, I would be shocked if I went to get my test taken, and I wound up with trace levels of meldonium in it. From what? From eating peppers and mushrooms? I mean, just get out of here, man. But see, that's the shame of the Canelo. In my opinion, that's the shame of the Canelo the sanction of the Nevada State Athletic Commission with Canelo is that, the sanctioning body said that, what is the Nevada State, not the sanctioning body, the Athletic Commission said that, we're not going to take this dog ate your homework excuse that you didn't know that, that you ate this meat with clenbuterol in it and you pop dirty. We don't care. Just, it was in your system. Enough is enough. It's in your system. That's all we need to know. It's in your system. And it's on the banned substance list. It's in your system. That's it. But then they proceed to lightly tap him on his shoulder and tell him not to do it again. They backdate a suspension to the day that he took the test. That would be, to me, that's like saying, somebody gets convicted of robbery and they get arrested. They get arrested in December. And they're allowed to go home, but they got arrested in December. And, because they posted bail. And the case gets tried sometime the next year. And then they get convicted. But then the judge turns around and says, we're going to start your jail sentence from the day that you were arrested. Or better yet, we'll backdate it to the day that not even the day that you were arrested. We're going to backdate your penalty to the day that you were accused of having stole the goods to begin with. Right? So you stole it 6 months before. They found the stuff. They found it when they searched your car. And then you got arrested. You get charged. You go home. That was 6 months in between that. 6 months later, you go to trial. And for whatever reason, we're going to give you a year in 6 months, but we're going to backdate it to the day that you stole it. I mean, that would be a judge going out of his way to make sure that the punishment is absolutely as lenient as it possibly can be. So you have, you have the WBA's treatment of Alexander Povetkin, where he pops dirty, and because they present some evidence, right, that he had taken it beforehand, they reinstate him in the rankings, right? Give him a little fine. He got a billionaire promoter. Give him a little money. Give him a little fine. And then boom, back in the rankings again. Back in the rankings again. Now this time though, Povetkin, we need to make sure that you take performance-enhancing drugs that are not on the list, okay? Did you have enough time? Did you guys have enough time to develop some derivative of meldonium that can't be detected as meldonium but has the same purpose and function? Now, I want you to go out and find those drugs and use those drugs. Don't use these drugs that are on the performance-enhancing list. You got to use performance-enhancing drugs that are not on the list. That's what you do. That's what it says when you accept an argument like what he gave. That I wasn't on the list. It wasn't on the list at the time, and I was free to take that performance-enhancing drug because you didn't specifically tell me I couldn't take it. You said I couldn't take these other performance-enhancing drugs. You didn't specifically mention that performance-enhancing drug, right? So, I should be off. I should get off. Whatever, man. So you got Alexander Povetkin getting another shot at a title. You get Canelo Alvarez, who's going to miss one fight, right? And just conveniently enough, hey man, give him enough time to get injury on it, to get surgery on his knee, get that cyst or whatever it was out of his knee, right? Take a nice good rest, get over the emotion of it, because I know it was embarrassing to you, Canelo. I know it was embarrassing that you popped dirty, and that, that's shame, shame, shame on everybody for making you upset. So take this 6 months off. Get ready to fight in November. Get ready to fight in September. But we'll let you off in August, so you can have plenty of time to announce your fight ahead of time, right? Announce a fight's going to be out in, we'll give you a little bit of time. August to announce a fight going to take place in a month. Promotion can kick right off there, and then nobody loses any money, and we'll all be good. Alexander Povetkin, the WBA is going to allow. Yeah, we know that you popped dirty twice, but we're going to mandate that you be we're going to make you the mandatory challenger to Anthony Joshua, another 6'6", 250-pound, 60-pound bodybuilder, whatever, and let it ride, man. I mean, it's just, it is what it is, man. There's big money in sports, and there's always going to be more money in the in the manufacturing of performance-enhancing drugs than there is in the testing and busting athletes for it. But, I guess that's just the world we live in, man. Now, if Deontay Wilder is out of $4 million, so be it. It is what it is. I certainly think the dude deserves to be made whole and a message needs to be sent out for guys that test positive, for performance enhancing drugs in sports, even in a sport that is a secondary sport or maybe a tertiary sport in boxing. But, it is what it is, man. I don't think people expect anything different at this point, but just because everybody's getting used to it and expecting it doesn't make it right. And matter of fact, it just highlights the need for even more people to speak out about it. So, and in a sport where you have people that are risking their lives and getting hit in the head, to allow a guy like Alexander Povetkin to represent the WBC, the WBA, and the WBO is a poor reflection on those organizations. And, it is what it is. And with that, I'm out, Pete.